Welcome to Cooking with Andrea. Well, today I'm super excited. I'm making pizza rolls. I love pizza rolls. Oh my gosh, so delicious. Well, I'm going to explain some ingredients. I went ahead and measured out 2 cups of mozzarella cheese. One's already in there. Second one right here. This is really fast and easy. It's fun too. The kids, everybody can do this. So here's my 2 cups of cheese. I used this mozzarella. I used a cup of pepperoni. And then I used a cup of my sausage. This is my pizza sausage I get at my local Winco. You know, you can't beat the price because, you know, everything this day is super expensive. This is $1.89 and it's 1 full cup and it's already cooked. So what I'm going to do, first I have to actually kind of rough chop my pepperoni, and then I'm going to actually end up putting everything in my food processor because I've been trying to learn how to make pizza roll-ups that taste super delicious, a little bit more authentic and not so chunky. Because after I master the pepperoni sausage thing, I want to go on and be able to put like onion and bell pepper in it and make them adult pizza rolls, or you know, whereas I feel these pizza rolls are just right down my alley. But I would like to experiment in the future. So I have to give this a rough chop. Okay, I am using spring rolls again this week because, like I told you, such a super duper good price, $2 and something cents I'm paying for 36 or 39 wrappers. To not only am I experimenting, I'm doing fun things that I like to do. Holidays are coming up. I would be able to make all sorts of hors d'oeuvres. If I can do it with pepperonis or with meat or with steak meat and cheese, I can do it with turkey. I was thinking I could make my very own turkey, maybe cranberry roll. I don't know. I'm going to be experimenting. You know me, I always love being in the kitchen. I always love telling people what I'm doing. Jump on, try it too. But those are in the refrigerator right now because I try to keep them as cold as possible so then when I go to peel them, they're super easy to roll. But what we'll do is we're going to kind of mix this up. Then what I'll do is go to a break. I'll pull those out of the refrigerator. Over here we're heating my fryer. And but we're going to get this started right here. Easy ingredients. I don't have to cut too much, but I noticed that pepperoni doesn't go good in my food processor just like this. Like the cheese and the sausage is going to mix up perfect. Pepperoni takes a minute more. Sometimes I still come out with a piece like this. And if I do, and no big deal, you know, but I try to get everything very uniformed because, so what I've learned with using my food processor is that it's a smoother bite, kind of like a Totino's. You know, I mean, Totino's are good, but that's a smooth bite, and I like the way it tastes because everything seems to be blended together. Another thing I've been doing with the pizza roll-ups too is using pancetta, but my pancetta is too salty. Or I'm going to have to drop a different meat or find one or do no pepperoni because pepperoni has its own salt. Maybe just do like this sausage. Although this sausage has salt too. So I'm going to have to find something. But boy, I sure like the texture of the pancetta in the rolls I've been doing. But I'm going to perfect my pepperoni sausage one first. And then we'll go on to bigger and better. Tell me, you guys will be the hit of the football era too if you guys do this. And boy, us cooks, the ones that are in cooking it, super easy. Guess why? We can make these today, freeze them, and food saver. I swear, everybody needs to have a food saver of some sort, especially people who work or cook a lot like I do too. So easy to make them today when I'm not doing something versus when I've got 1,000 things to do after I get off work. You can freeze them, take them out of the freezer as long as you store them correctly. And I've already showed you guys how to store them. Mine works. I can show you all day long and again how I've been doing it. And boy, come football season, all you have to do is put them in the fryer, take them out of the freezer, and you do it from a frozen state. Honestly, you just take them from your freezer, cut them open. Because you wrap them individually, they come right out. You drop them in your fryer, your oven, or your air fryer, and you'll have hors d'oeuvres. And you can make so many different kinds. It's crazy. You wouldn't even realize. I have 4 different kinds in my freezer. I have like carne asada ones. I have like a cheeseburger one. I have regular, like a lumpia style. I have a breakfast. I'm just crazy on these, but what a great idea. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get noisy now. Get this on. Sorry for the noise, but I want you to see this because this is how easy the video is. I hate to keep you guys on video for something like this, but this is actually one of the most important parts of it. Okay, so this is what you want your pepperoni to look like. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it on my cheese because I want you to see. I am going to grind my cheese one time and I'll put this in with the cheese right back, but I wanted you to see how it looks. So you want that consistency, small, so that when you go to roll, everything will stick together. Because I'll tell you something, one thing good about these wraps is you could do the meat raw. It cooks perfect through there, no problem. But if it's cooked, really all you're doing is getting that awesome crunch and browning. So now what I'm going to do is, because pepperoni is my toughest one, so I'm just going to mix it in like this. Also, another thing I'm looking at too is consistency in my cheese and my meat. Because each time I do it, you know, I want to get better and better at it. And the only way you get better at something, especially cooking, is doing it again and again. Unless you're just that gifted person that can do it once. I am not that lucky. I have to work a little bit harder. I'm trying to be all nice, prim, and proper, but good God, I'm going to spill everything on the floor. It's easier to use your hand because you can guide it versus the spoon. Normally I just leave everything in there, but it's very important for me to show you the texture because when I'm learning a recipe or learning how to do something, it's very important that my brain understands what I did. So I always try to explain and teach people how I learn. So we're going to mix this one more time, noise, and then we'll go to break, and I'll get everything cleaned up. We're going to mix. Just see how the sausage looks. Okay. I'm just gonna put it on one more time. It's very important, the consistency, in my opinion. Good Lord, I just sent everything spinning. Okay, one more time. That's perfect. Not too much. We are good to go. Let me get my bowl back over here. I love this, the way I do it now. And now I'm learning just different ways to do things, you know, versus just putting in an egg roll wrapper or something like that, or in dough. So it's super exciting when you get to learn different techniques and stuff like that. That's why I love watching my YouTube, so I can learn. You know, we've always loved pizza. That's my favorite food, actually, is pizza. I like a lot of other food, obviously, too, but pizza is my actual favorite. This is the consistency you want. This is a perfect consistency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop this in the refrigerator, because always cold is good to work with. Everything sticks together. I'll get my my countertop cleaned off. I'll get the wrappers out and the water and my pan. Welcome back. I just want to show you, here's my wrappers. And these wrappers, these spring roll wrappers, are a beautiful vessel. This is what I make a lot of things out of. Kind of cool. I do a lot of this kind of stuff in the summer because it's hot as heck. Who wants to sit down and eat a ton of food? all the time. So sometimes it's nice to have a couple of these and a nice salad. This is how they look. These are super easy. These are frozen. They're frozen. They freeze good. My vacuum seal bag. This is going to be, these are not pizza rolls. These are a different kind of roll, but this is how it is. You wrap them in their own little wrappers they come with, which is another awesome thing, because before I was able to get these with their own plastic, I actually had to wrap them in my own parchment paper so they won't stick, because if you don't wrap them, they'll stick. They'll be no good. So you have to do it kind of like what I'm doing, because I did that mistake the very first time. That's one thing I love about sharing recipes, watching videos, things like that. That's one thing I love, because we get to learn before we go ahead and get the ingredients and mess it up, which is awesome. Okay, guys, I'm rolling on my counter because my counter's real clean. Not only that, I want you to be able to see what I do. So I'm going to take one wrap. I already unwrapped the paper off of it. I'll do the next one with you. So I'm an overstuffer, so I had to use a teaspoon because I will overstuff everything. So what I do is I try and do one heavy teaspoon, but it still stays within the line, and a little one. The reason you want to take and mix the mixture up like this is I've learned something. See how nice it rolls and see how nice it stays? I learned this when I was doing lumpias, because lumpia is a not cooked meat. So it already sticks together. So I'm like, how do I get everything to stick? Well, just mash it up, and the cheeses and the oil from the meats you use, it'll help everything stick. So I just rolled it over. Just keep rolling. Just roll until you get to a point that you know you want. I always wet a couple of my fingers, but first what I'm going to do is fold it over. Fold it over. Now I'm going to wet like 3 or 4 of my fingers. When I do this, I'm very serious about this. I like this, and this is really cool. And learning something for me is really super awesome. Look at how beautiful that seals together. That is awesome. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it here. And let me get my little towel, because I am messy. So I always wipe it up after, because I don't want it to stick to my other wrappers. But I found out, I used to use my little brush and everything. And if you make cooking too hard, a pain in the rump, then nobody's going to want to do it. We'll get fancier, better, more politically correct as time goes on. But master your technique first, and then you can get all pretty on it and super techie. I like techie. Okay, so all you do is take your little layer off like that, put it over here, because you're going to use it to wrap them when you go to freeze them. So 1, 2, and you'll know most people are not overstuffers like me. I'm bad. I'm learning now. Okay. Super, super easy. See, you just roll, 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 roll. Like I make egg rolls. I make taquitos, flautas, things like that. So sometimes rolling is no joke, It's not always easy. Okay, if for say you didn't like that little piece right there, even though it's perfect, and what you're going to do is in a few minutes you're going to pop these in the freezer, because I always pop my stuff in the freezer. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm pretty sure you got the gist of it. And then, but they're super easy. Then what I'll do is clean my station, and then we'll get ready to just fry them. So just peel it off. It's really that simple. I love these things. These things are so easy. Okay. And I love the way the mixture is. The mixture is all blended nice together, because we blended it. Just poke it out. Just like that. Just form it with your finger. Wait until you guys try these. These are delicious. And anybody who's in the kitchen wrapping all the time, you see me do this, you know it's easy. This is such a great vessel. I cannot believe this wrap is such a great vessel. Boy, very underrated vessel. I am old and I didn't really realize this, even though I've been eating these for like 25, 30 years. Did not realize it until probably about 3, 4 months ago. So, guys, this is how it looks. I'm going to go roll a whole bunch more. I'll clean my station. We'll be back and we'll fry together. Welcome back. Okay, I have a surprise for you. They're done. They look fantastic. Here are my beautiful pizza rolls. I'm just going to show you what I did is I just put a couple of them in the fryer. I'm just going to come right over here. It took a few minutes, but I didn't want to keep you on camera to fry them because it took a few minutes to fry them. I already pre-wrapped some. I actually even have about enough for about 10 more to do. But I didn't want to be away from camera too long because I wanted to get this done and show you guys. So I simply took their wrappers they came with. We're going to let these cool for just a minute. And then we're going to dig into it. And all I did so I could save them or freeze them in my freezer. And then like I have my vacuum sealer. So mine's easy. I just roll them like this for tonight and say we don't want to eat them today. So you roll them. And now I have something fresh frozen that I made. And I can pull out at any time and I don't have to worry about going to the store and getting it. I do save them, the wrappers, but this is how they look. And now what I do is place them in my freezer and I just let them cool overnight. And then me and Wayne will go ahead and vacuum seal them tomorrow. And we'll have extras for the future. Okay, so we got this one in frying. It takes 2 to 3 minutes. But what the key is there's no raw meat here. But you do want them this color. So let me put a couple on the plate. I have some pizza sauce here. This is why I want to have these, is I want to be able to have hors d'oeuvres one night, because we're a family that likes to eat hors d'oeuvres sometimes on the weekend. We don't feel like eating a heavy meal. We just want to have an hors d'oeuvre. So what I'm going to do is just place these here like that. And we're going to try this one. I am not cutting it. I am just going to bite into it. It's going to be hot. Really good. We're going to try and not talk too much with our mouth full. So flaky, crunchy, delicious. I can taste the sausage, the pizza, the cheese. Okay, let's go for a dip. Let's try it with the pizza sauce. Really good. I am going to cut one though, so you can see it. Super delicious. What a cool hors d'oeuvre. So let's go like this. Look at the cheese, the pepperoni, and the sausage. Absolutely delish. If you like the content, if you would please like, share, and subscribe, I'd be most grateful. To all my subscribers and my new subscribers, I'm super grateful for you. Thank you all very much. I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed week.